It's 5 months since Jeff Woodhouse moved from the city to the country to set up his own veterinary clinic in Arrowtown. And it's a busy little place.
He's got some barley grass in his back left foot, I think.
This morning's first patient is a Springer Spaniel with an all too common problem.
Trees and in the grass, and I think he's just got a bit of grass stuck between his back two fingers.
Poor old Benson has fallen victim to barley grass. It's worked its way between his toes and is causing him a lot of pain. And Benson won't be the only barley grass victim that Jeff will treat today.
They've got very, very sharp points on them, and they just dig in, and then they tend to travel one way because they've got barbs, and they can be very problematic if they're left in, because they can travel a long way. So it is definitely best to get onto them early. I think it's certainly worth exploring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you have got it early, so chances are if it's in there, it won't be very far.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth exploring anyway.
Yeah.
And so we'll keep them for the day and look after them.
Okay.
We'll get them home tonight.
You're a lucky boy. You get another stay here, don't you?
Okay. He's holding no grudges though. He's looking really good, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's a thick-a-big silver dog.
Yeah.
Barley grass thrives in dry climates, like Central Otago. It's nasty stuff. The seed heads are shaped like little spears. If they get stuck in an animal's coat, they can work their way into the skin or the ears. Benson isn't the only one with this problem.
It's just possible that it is a single grass seed embedded in there.
Next up is a border collie called Bilbo. He's got a grass seed in his ear.
You don't always know when a dog comes in, whether it's sort of shaking its head, whether it's got a barley grass down there, or whether it's just got infection. So something at this time of year has to be ruled out, because if they're not removed, the problem just gets huge.
Things are even worse for poor old Doc. A seed has worked its way into his eye. While Jeff will operate on all 3 dogs to remove the seeds, the outcome for Doc is likely to be harsh. Just a few kilometres down the road, a couple of alpacas are about to get a haircut.
Here you come, fellas. There's the boy. Just let us...
Jeff's been called because one of them has an injured foot. Llamas and alpacas are cameloids, members of the camel family. Carla and Jet are 2.5 years old.
Put your arm under here like that, and just sort of hold the ear. Right. And if he starts jumping up, just put one hand here.
Alpacas need to be shorn every summer, and Ken is an expert blade shearer. He's paying a special visit to the area to trim up the local alpaca population. Every year, an adult alpaca can produce up to 3.5 kilos of fibre in a single fleece. It's an extremely high-quality fleece that's even finer than merino. Alpacas make ideal pets for people living on lifestyle blocks. They're gentle animals that don't bite or kick like a horse. They mark their territory with dung piles, and being naturally tidy, they won't mess anywhere else. Jeff's been dealing with a lot of alpacas since he moved to the Wakatipu. Today, he's checking out Carla, who has a problem with his foot.
Hi there.
All right, my man.
They're looking
Here
pretty
they
fresh
are.
after that.
Oh, yeah, after they're short back and sides.
Yeah.
Carla, the white one here, is just his front paws. I don't know whether they've been on soft ground or what have you, but they're just looking like a little spongy.
Right.
And I don't know if it's a fungus or something got into them or not. So,
Not looking sore though, not looking lame.
no, just wild as, which you'll find out.
Yeah.
I've given them parsley so their breath's a bit better.
Oh, that's good of you. Very nice. Better than the garlic. Fight off the ills of winter.
While little Pinky, the Bichon Frise, is used to alpacas, cameras are a different story.
Because he's so inquisitive and he's always up into the trees having a nibble and something, and whether or not, he's just forever damaging himself, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Although alpacas have hooves, only the front part of the hoof touches the ground, and the main weight of the animal is borne by the tough, leathery sole pads. They adapt easily to steep and rocky terrain and can move the pads on their toes to maintain grip.
Could just be a
you did right.
seasonal thing or something?
Yeah,
just with the damp, with
a bit
the
softer.
weather.
And this point might be a major weight bearing point for them, and therefore it's prone to a bit more damage, and so it's just worn away a little bit more. But I think that as the ground dries out, you'll find that
just keep an eye on it.
Yep, it just absolutely settles down.
Jeff decides to let the wound heal naturally. Back at base, the girls are getting ready for the annual AMP show.
Beer for the AMP show. A little code thing to wear so we all know where she's from.
The slogan that they've decided to use was my idea. Fantastic.
Alicia's baby Rottweiler, Bear, is being pressed into service as a catwalk model. This will be the clinic's first public promotion, a chance to showcase their services to a wider audience. And the whole team is joining in.
And Alicia had this fantastic idea of making biscuits for dogs, which she has done so. And we'll show you them. Look at these. Aren't they fantastic? And then there's these other ones, which I'm sure they're delicious.
Vet Nikki is about to demonstrate her commitment to the cause.
Nuts and dog chocolate. These ones are chicken and cinnamon. All right. What are they? Beefy, doggy.
Yeah, they're the ones they've got like baby food in them. Baby food with vegetables.
I think they look really good.
So foul. But dogs like that.
So this is our little idea. So we're going to be doing a little, well,
We're just
our
gonna
little
look-
idea. Alicia's idea.
We're going to figure out how we're going to market them, do it. But apparently the dog choc chop has made it just a little bit more tasty.
They're good. They're good.
Can we reiterate that there's no meat in that one? That's just, yeah. That's just a nutty biscuit.
They're actually kind of good. I think I need a cuppa.
It's early afternoon at Remarkable Vets. Nick is operating on Benson to remove the barley grass seed from between his toes. Unless it's removed, the seed head keeps burrowing its way into the flesh. It's a delicate procedure. As a trainee veterinary nurse in her final year, Julie's work experience at the clinic is proving to be more educational than she expected.
I didn't expect to be able to participate in so many different things. I thought I would be relegated to the back just observing and maybe answering the odd phone, maybe washing the odd dog, but I've just been part of the team since day one and far exceeded my expectations.
And there it is. Benson's operation has gone smoothly. He'll be fully recovered in a few days.
I'm reasonably confident that there's nothing in there.
With the temperature hitting 35 degrees outside the clinic, Diesel's found himself a new hobby.
Apparently cleaning himself in the sink, which is great, you know. Interesting spot to choose, but it's quite hot. He must be looking for a cool spot, sitting in the water at the bottom.
His own room complete with running water. On a day like this, it's just what every cat needs. Back in the surgery, Jeff's working on the second barley operation of the day, Bilbo's ear.
I'm struggling to really get a feel for what it is, or it might be a tiny bit of plant material. It's worked its way down there.
While Jeff removes the grass seed, there's a build-up of wax deep inside the dog's ear. It'll have to be removed.
I think we'll just flush that ear, try and loosen things off and then.
Elbow.
As Jeff finishes the operation, the anaesthetic's about to wear off.
It's not a really bad ear because they got onto it fairly early. 1, 2, okay, we're ready to come out now. That's it, out we come. Lovely.
Onto barley grass case number 3, and things aren't looking so good for Doc. There's a serious risk he'll lose his eye.
Doc had a grass seed removed that had been trapped behind his third eyelid. It was removed by the owner close to 2 weeks ago now. But all the tissue around the eye has become very inflamed, very swollen, looking very infected. And I'm just a bit concerned that there might be a fragment of grass seed still there.
This is the real danger of barley grass. Getting behind Doc's eye when it's so swollen is almost impossible. Jeff decides to make him comfortable and call in expert help, an Australian eye specialist.
Look at you, performing cat. Look at you. Come here, wee man.
Alicia has brought Achilles into the clinic for the day. Just a few weeks earlier, things weren't looking promising for the little stray. He arrived at the clinic with an abscess on his back and was going to be put down. Then he battled against a paralysis which struck his back end. But with lots of loving care from Alicia, he's fought his way back to almost perfect health.
He's done amazingly there, hasn't he? And that whole swelling's just settled down completely along his back now, which is good.
Achilles is about to get the 12-week vaccinations that will protect him against a range of diseases, including cat flu.
What a champion. Look at that. As you see him, I mean, he's improved out of sight where he was. We obviously had, grave concerns for his likelihood of comeback early on. But he's done fantastically. He's just enjoyed life all along, hasn't he?
Yes.
Despite his disability. And he's not 100% by any means. He still has some neurological problems. He's not quite able to place those feet exactly where he wants them, but he's totally functional.
He's going really well. He's got such a sort of a cool personality that he sort of...
Yeah. I think we sort of knew from the start that he was a good candidate of a kitten to persist with despite major problems, didn't we? Because he's just got the right attitude. And that makes an enormous difference to their ability to come back.
That'd be great if he starts doing it at home. That'd be great. He starts playing with my curtains.
How do you find these animals?
I have cool pets, don't I?
You have cool pets.
Later that afternoon, Jeff's off on a house call. A prize papillon is booked in for sperm testing. The girls are in charge, and Jeff's left them some detailed instructions.
And I was like, oh no.
He is so... Did you read your husband's comment here, Karen?
No, has he left you a note?
He has. He's left a number of notes, but the final one says, coming with 2 dogs, one for assessment, one for sperm test. He requested a female do it, as not sure if his dog is gay.
Oh, that's disturbing.
That's disturbing.
And that's disturbing.
It's not even funny.
Do you know what's brilliant?
What?
We've got a beautiful work experience.
We do.
Don't we, Julie?
While the girls are enjoying a laugh, there is a serious side to the procedure.
There's medical reasons as to why we do this, in that, we take a sperm sample from the dog and we examine it under the microscope, and in particularly for a male dog, it's one of the most fundamental ways of determining his level of fertility. So while the actual procedure itself is fairly unpleasant, it's actually a necessary evil with regard to investigating infertility problems in male dogs.
Why aren't I doing it? Well, I think it's required for a fully qualified, very experienced vet to do, rather than
my strike rate isn't all that good, to be honest. Let's just leave it at that.
In the end, it's Jeff who draws the short straw, and thankfully, it's behind closed doors. Jeff and his family are paying an early morning visit to Mount Rosa Vineyard in the Gibbston Valley, just out of Queenstown. Jeff and Karen have purchased a 5-acre block here and plan to build their dream home.
Part of the dream of coming home was to have, a little patch of land and a house on it where we could have just, a bit of horticulture and a bit of agriculture going on. Let the children have some space and just enjoy that semi-rural lifestyle. Huge task that we sometimes look at each other and think, oh, should we be doing this? Is it the right time for this? And then you think, well, if we don't do it now, we're probably never going to do it.
Jeff and Karen have brought along their family cat to introduce him to the environment that will soon be his new home. But Plasmo is not impressed with the neighbours, 2 rather boisterous dogs who are keen on a game of tag. He soon retreats to a safe place.
He'll go all right. He's a great traveller. He's a very adaptable cat. He just needs to get his feel for the place. I think he'll be great. Just those dogs, not the neighbours that he might have to watch out for a day or two.
Much to Plasmo's relief, Jeff has to go to work, so the visit's only temporary.
Go, jump in the back.
Doc's a lucky dog. He's having his eye checked by visiting Australian eye specialist Andrew Turner. Andrew has some impressive credentials. He was the head vet at the Sydney Olympic Games.
Still lots of inflammation there. Look how red that is.
Yeah.
See the little blood vessels coming into the cornea. That tells me that the eye is just so severely inflamed.
Yeah.
A darkened room helps Andrew and Jeff to get a clearer view of the damaged eye.
And my thoughts would be that this grass seed has probably penetrated the eye.
Right.
And is sitting in the back of the eye in the vitreous.
Yeah. Right.
I would say the chances of saving that eye for vision are 0.
Right.
Certainly.
Doc's taking the bad news well, but he'll always be blind in one eye. It's Friday afternoon. The team have almost completed their preparations for the AMP show, and Jeff has some great news.
Boys, we got a good sign.
Are we really?
Great sign.
Cool.
Great sign. Yeah.
Where are we? And
We're next door to the alpacas.
Yeah.
You know, we've got 10 metres of frontage. We've got the biggest site. We've got kids coming. We've got a couple of little sheep.
Kids coming.
Well,
Kids.
goats.
Goats, not children. Not small children.
Big we've got children. Yay!
We are a part-time creche.
That's right. I think of all people, I do remember that.
So you are the primary
Considering
child.
I am the supervising nanny here.
Jeff's happy to leave the last-minute preparations to the girls, but is worried that Nikki may have acquired a taste for dog biscuits.
You just maybe need a bit of signage.
I do draw the line somewhere. It looks like a bone. It's not for me.
It's early Saturday morning at the Lake Hayes AMP show. Nikki and Alicia are in full swing, but there's no sign of Jeff.
These are my biscuits, so
I've got a sample one too.
I'm just going to text Jeff, just to check whether he's coming or not.
The show usually gets a good turnout, and today the weather is perfect. The crowds are starting to pour in, and so are the alpacas. But Jeff's still missing in action.
Jeff saying, are you coming? And he goes, no, the 7s are on.
Eventually Jeff turns up and rushes in to help set up the stall.
So let's do them and then I'll hold up the middle and you can stick them on.
We'll just leave them here for now. Yeah, coming together. The team's on board and feels moderately organised.
Moderate.
Very organised. Very organised.
Before long, the stall is ready to go, and Jeff was right. The alpacas are drawing the crowds. The biscuits are proving to be a huge hit, and not just with the dogs.
They look good enough to eat. Can I try one?
Give it a whirl.
Oh, great.
No sugar.
You know what? You could feed these to your kids and they'd be better than cookies.
That's right.
While Jeff mans the stall, the girls are out and about spreading the word and giving away cookies.
Have a good day. You too. Thank you. I reckon my strategy is going to be go down to where the horse people are getting ready, because notoriously lots of cats and dogs associated with the equine set, so we'll see how we go.
Julie's strategy works. There's no shortage of takers for Alicia's biscuits.
Giving out free samples of dog and cat food. If you're interested.
Lovely. Thank you.
What can I get you? Dog, cat,
Dog.
dog.
They're just little treats.
See that, Jeff?
Lovely things. They're just lovely. I wish I had pony food. There's some dog cookies from Remarkable Vet. Success.
Although he's not here as the official vet, Jeff's been asked to check out a horse with an eye problem.
Something going on.
So you're after Harriet.
8 o'clock.
And then you.
It's been a highly successful day for the team. The new business has had plenty of valuable exposure, and their friendly attitude has won over lots of new clients.
I have to say it's been a social time rather than a professional one. Good client contact, making a few new friends, and I think it's achieved everything we wanted.
Although Doc lost the use of his eye, it didn't have to be removed, and he's bounced back nicely. And Nikki's undergoing aversion therapy to wean her off the dog biscuit habit. Next week on Remarkable Vets, There's a major emergency at the clinic. Jeff gets up close and personal with a kiwi. And we meet a kitten who's quickly using up his 9 lives.
From farms in the fields to the high country stations, inspections, detections, and examinations.